Disenchantment and Futurama are set in the same universe? Netflix just dropped its newest animated series, Disenchantment, a medieval comedy from Simpsons and Futurama creator Matt Groening. Following Princess Bean, an elf named Elfo, who's my favorite, and a demon called Lucy, the series shares a ton of creative talent and voice actors with Futurama. Thanks to a small Easter egg in the first season of Disenchantment, we've got a juicy Futurama-related conspiracy to dig into. Today we'll investigate if it's possible that Disenchantment and Futurama actually take place in the same exact universe. Spoiler warning! If you haven't binged the 10-episode first season of Disenchantment yet, you might want to get on that. Also, spoilers for Futurama, but come on folks, that show hasn't been on since 2013. In the final episode of Disenchantment's first season, we got a fun little Easter egg reference to everyone's favorite future sitcom, Futurama. Eric Andre's demon character Lucy uses this magical device to fast forward and rewind a little historical replay of what happened in this room. And that's where our little Futurama reference takes place. Check it out. Did you see it? No? Here, we'll pause. There it is! Boom, baby! As you can see, Fry, Bender, and Professor Farnsworth can be seen in this weird future vehicle just for a split second, implying that they had been in that room at some point in the past. Fans of Futurama will recognize this weird future vehicle as Farnsworth's forward-moving time machine from the episode The Late Philip J. Fry. So the question is this just a fun crossover Easter egg, or does it imply a shared universe between the two? Let's take a closer look. In the Futurama episode, The Late Philip J. Fry, the trio of Fry, Bender, and Farnsworth accidentally send themselves to the year 10,000 in a time machine that cannot go backwards in time, only forwards. This is honestly pretty smart because they've got some experience changing the past.
That way you can't accidentally change history or do something disgusting like sleep with your own grandmother.
I wouldn't want to do that again.
Fry did the nasty in the pasty. That's why his brain's weird. They spend the rest of the episode moving forward in time, looking for someone with backwards time travel technology so that they can get back to the year 3010. The time traveling sequence showcases a wide variety of time periods and a few that might line up with Disenchantment. First, they arrive in the year 10,000, and since the ruins of New York and the Planet Express building are still visible, we think it's safe to assume Disenchantment does not take place between the year 3010 and 10,000. It's a shame Bender didn't read this book before he burned it though, because if you translate the title with Futurama's alien language, it actually says, "Backwards Time Travel Made Easy." Classic Futurama. You gotta love those sight gags. Next, they arrive in the year 105 and run into some gun-wielding folks riding walruses. While this doesn't appear to be a period that lines up with Disenchantment, walruses were showcased fairly heavily in the second episode of that series, but still not a particularly strong connection. Although I did love their siren song. Really beautiful. Next is the year 252,525, which is a medieval time period. Nothing else about the period leads us to believe that this is Dreamland or the world of Disenchantment, but this is our best candidate so far. The year 1.5 million also showcases a medieval period, but this one shows humans being enslaved by giraffes. Maybe this is spoilers for the future of Disenchantment, or maybe it's just still not the right time period. Fry, Bender, and Farnsworth eventually reach the end of the universe without finding a backwards time machine, and they decide to sit back, drink beer, and watch the end of all things.
The last proton should be decaying about now.
Bye, last proton.
Fortunately for them, a new Big Bang creates an identical universe to the last one, so they move forward through all of history to get back to the year 3010. It's safe to assume that at some point they traveled through Earth's medieval history, which could be the time in which Disenchantment takes place. But our favorite candidate for Disenchantment's time period is actually somewhere between the year 2000 and the year 3000. Way back in the pilot of Futurama, after Fry is frozen, in the background we see New York is destroyed by UFOs. Side note, in the first Futurama movie Bender's Big Score, we learned that this was actually Bender. That little scamp. Next, we see society rebuild itself, complete with medieval castles. The sequence is also reiterated in the late Philip J. Fry. Is it possible that Disenchantment actually takes place in the future, and that this is the time period when it does in fact take place? This is definitely our favorite theory, but it also has its issues. We obviously never see the inside of Dreamland's castle during this time travel sequence, so it might be a stretch to assume that this and this are actually the same place. But if they are, we know exactly how Disenchantment will end. Disenchantment does have a few other small references to Futurama. In this scene, you can see Fry's hair as a wig on a shelf. Lucy also throws this description out there.
So, super hot one-eyed girl with a dead family. Sounds legit.
Sound like anyone you've seen before? Layla. So this time machine reference might have just been a fun Easter egg, but who knows? Futurama showrunner David X. Cohen is a writer and producer on Disenchantment, and a ton of the creative talent behind the show also worked on Futurama. We don't really think it would benefit Disenchantment to directly tie itself to Futurama with, say, a crossover like The Simpsons and Futurama did, but we're willing to bet we can expect a lot more Futurama references in Disenchantment's future. Or would that be the past? I don't know. But what do you all think? Could Disenchantment and Futurama take place in the same universe, or was this just a fun little Easter egg for Futurama fans? And how do you guys feel about Disenchantment so far? We think it has a ton of potential and cannot wait for season 2. Let us know how you're feeling below in the comments. And hey, if you love the Futurama voice cast as much as we most definitely do, check out Talkin' Tunes over at projectalpha.com. They've had Billy West mash up Futurama and Back to the Future.
I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know anything about you. Well, listen, Doc. Quiet! Doc, it's me, Marty.
Definitely check it out. New episodes drop on projectalpha.com every Friday. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for tuning in to another animation investigation. We hope you dug this episode as much as we dug making it. And as always, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, so that we can keep doing the show. We're also still looking for more cartoons to talk about, so do not stop sending us your ideas. Tweet us at Hector is Funny and at Nerdist with the hashtag animation investigation and with the cartoons that you want investigated. That's gonna close up another case. That's gonna close up another case. That's gonna close up another case. Catch you on the next animation investigation.